Hey there, and welcome to another edition of HiiVE Podcast, introducing you to the eXp Realty trailblazers and newsmakers that are aligning under one brokerage and creating a movement in the real estate industry. I'm your HiiVE host, Sam Rodriguez. What is all the buzz? Hey there, everybody, and welcome, Jennifer Schiff, joining us today as our special guest. This is HiiVE Podcast. We talk about all the real estate buzz taking place here at eXp. Jennifer, thanks so much for taking the time and joining us today.
I couldn't be more excited to be here with you.
It's exciting stuff. We're excited to have you because this is a new venture for you. It's only been a few weeks, I think, since your announcement. I saw on Facebook.
Yeah, we'll be in a few weeks this week.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, before we kind of jump start into why talking about eXp and talking a little bit more about why you chose eXp. Maybe a brief introduction about yourself because you spent a long time at another brokerage, a leader of one of the top teams across the entire country. So I'll let you kind of take it from there and a short introduction if you don't mind.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'll compound it as much as possible. I've had the honor of being in the real estate industry for about a decade. Through that time, I was at a single brokerage. You guys may have heard of it. It was KW. Through that time, it really was where I had the opportunity to grow in real estate team, in expansion, and really different aspects of the real estate industry. I've had the ability to be able to work and grow in a lot of different spaces from, residential real estate to the investment side, coaching and consulting, really into all the different dynamics of even the national team. And through that, it's really just given me the opportunity to learn a lot of lessons, gain some successes along the way. Our team grew 650% really early on and became a $75 million team. And, with 5 Doors Expansion, which was the company I had the opportunity to be the VP of operations with for 2.5 years, huge growth, about $350 million at the time we were together, scaling 1,000 units in a year. So you can just imagine the types of things that you experience through that journey, which then lend me here to eXp.
So let's talk about that part a little bit further because some people out there say, well, eXp is just a recruiting company. But hearing some of those production numbers, you've had your duties in running some of these teams, right, in operations. But that's it's about productivity, right?
Yeah.
So touch a little bit more on that because for those who may not have caught that, I mean, growing up any business, growing any team, any brokerage even, 1,000 units is a lot of business.
12 months. Yeah, we did it in 12 months. It was, that's fine.
That's something. So I guess, when, and again, I know it was building out a team, so for those who are maybe, again, watching right now, they're considering a team. Maybe they're just starting out on a team or building their team. Words of wisdom, how do you even grow that way?
Yeah. You have to bring together you have to bring together operational optimization and productivity at the same time in synchronicity. And that is really the key. You're going to have to expect that it's going to get messy, yet you do have to have both of those legs able to churn with at least talent in place that can grow and kind of work through that, right? One leg can't create the other and the other can't stand alone either. So it really is having the operations and the productivity be able to mesh and grow together. That really is one of the keys to scale in real estate business.
That's a good point that you make there. So thanks for sharing that tip there. So after having the successes, I mean, you've enjoyed giant successes for quite some time.
Giant failures. I always like to make sure that people know that, right? It's not a unicorn that we just get to get everything right. It really is the experiences that didn't work through the journey that do get the successes. But yeah, thank you.
I always like to call those or tell people, how many nights did it take you for you to become an overnight success, right?
Yeah. I call them the boulders we had to knock ourselves down over.
That's right.
Yeah.
So having experienced that type of successes over the many years now, I know this is something new for you. So I think I saw the statement that you made when you were on with Daniel Beer and on the Facebook Live, that this was something that you would have probably never thought would have ever happened, right? I think a lot of us have said that is whatever company, whether it was a red company, a blue company, a lot of people say, probably a big hell no sometimes that I would never join, or even looked at or considered eXp. So what happened? What changed?
Of course. I'd love to start to say that I'm the person who tried to not join eXp more than anybody else. And it was really a 15-month journey of getting serious, yet I'd begun learning about eXp in 2016 really for the first time, but 2017 looked at it closely when I was in expansion. So it's always kind of been there, and I've tried to unsee it. And they always say, once you see it, you can't unsee it no matter how hard you try. And, over the last several years, whether it was in the real estate team or whether it was how to tie the coaching and consulting to a way that we can just help as many people as possible and not be limited to certain parameters of team structure or brokerage structure or things like that, we just kept looking for a model that would support us without wanting to go independent, because there was just a lot of things about that weren't attractive to us. And, as eXp continued to grow and really show its stability, in the industry, and we were looking for something that had the opportunity to just, business without barriers is what I've loved to start say about it. The partnership with eXp made so much sense because it really tied all the aspects of the business in real estate for us together. It wasn't just solving one piece, which is what we were really experiencing prior. And it came to the point where we knew that not only did we want to have a platform, is the way we look at it, to be able to grow all the different aspects of real estate that we see now and coming in the future. We also thought that it was critical to be partnering with people who were like-minded and who were doing it the way similar to the way we wanted to do it or were already doing, and just could grow and learn and share together in a different way. And that's what became super exciting, is experiencing that. So then you wanted that for yourself.
And you mentioned the word partner, and that's really really what this is, because I don't know of another brokerage across the country where you get to truly partner up with one company, right? There's a lot of the same brands that are out there, but they're either franchised, so they're handcuffed because of franchise regulations or restrictions, because of geographic territories. And I guess, so speaking of that, because you guys were an expansion team and multi-state, so that probably, I'm sure, had something to play into it. And eXp provides a platform, like you're saying, being able to grow your brand if you want in numerous states, if you choose. So I guess take us down that journey. I guess that's in your findings, as kind of what I'm sharing there. What is it that's attractive then to, or I want to say what is it, because I just explained part of it. But in that journey, I guess, what was it specifically that made you really kind of realize that this was such a unique platform that it had to be really kind of take a deeper look at?
Yeah, well, when it comes from the expansion aspect of it, the challenges of expansion, the way it was designed in my prior brokerage, is the limitations come naturally with real estate in certain geographic restrictions. And then when you put geographic restrictions on top of brokerage restrictions, market by market, it just becomes very challenging to expand, because scale is really about the ability to find out what works and then duplicate it over and over, right, with very little creativity. And with expansion prior, and what we experienced consistently, is that every single step of expansion, you had to get creative again, because whether it was the financial model or whether it was the onboarding model or whether it was the compliance model with marketing, everything had to always be different. And so it made scale extremely challenging and also really difficult to be profitable for people. Now, what's really fascinating about the model, and when you look at it as eXp, it's really, to me, expansion with no red tape is one of the ways I really like to share it, is because a lot of those limitations no longer exist. So for companies who want to expand, or agents who have the desire to want to kind of do a little bit more in areas outside of just where they are, now they can do it with, again, just really streamlined models that support that type of business. And that's one of the really big pieces that was beautiful in the way the model is differentiated.
That's right. And I think, when on taking away the expansion side of it, because not every team, not every agent is an expansion team, or some don't have that.
Most actually are not, right? So just for any agent, yeah. Sorry, keep going.
So since you're currently not, obviously running or in that current operation any longer, But as you were considering the switch to eXp, then what other items? Again, I know you mentioned the collaboration part, because that's also something that's, I think, maybe a buzzword that's used maybe too loosely, that doesn't maybe necessarily turn into true collaboration.
Mhm.
But again, we mentioned, I saw you on the Be Different Mastermind, which is brand agnostic. I understood. There was a lot of eXp representation there, but also again, being able to align with now top agents, whether it's in your own market or now anywhere across the country. I mean, that's unusual, right? I mean, any other company, I don't know of any other company where those top producing agents or teams actually get together and have a mutual interest in wanting to see each other succeed. I just have never seen it before.
Yes, I will dial down that word for you because you are very correct in that. So more than collaboration, it's a sharing, right? Because of that tie into one another that doesn't exist anywhere else, right? So you see sharing that you can actually experience. It's not like people telling you that it happens. You can actually watch it happen, and you can see people's business growing in direct result to it happening. I would say just even in 3 weeks of me being a part of the organization without expansion, I have just applied some of the things that have been shared with me exactly as I'm speaking to. And in 3 weeks, I've already gotten the results in the areas of my life that I've set goals for, right? So it's already starting to work in just the smallest form. If anyone doesn't believe it, here it is true. And yet that's really a big part of it. And that interest is something that aligns us in a different way that gets people results who want to take the actions for it. And I think that's really a great part of it. I think, beyond that, it's also just the ability to have a more nimble environment with technology that works today, right? So there's things that are really great that can work, and there's things that may be in the future that just aren't there today. But the eXp platform really does have great technology that works today for where most businesses need to be. And I think that's also a really great benefit of ways that people can tap into the technology, start producing leads for themselves at no cost through the systems, start using the marketing pieces to generate immediate results with their SOI and whatever type of lead generation techniques they want. So you can just go, and that makes it really helpful to create a value proposition. Especially now, because where people prior weren't sure if they could do it without being in an office, now everyone knows that they can do it without being in an office. That, or they're not in real estate anymore, right?
That's true. Yeah, and you talk about that. We actually just had the shareholders summit, which was amazing. I mean, Jennifer, I don't know if you got a chance to walk through like the entire convention, the vendor hall. I mean, it was, I don't know about you, it felt like I was in the real deal, like walking around. Yes, it's our avatars. But we're walking around, walking through, still running into people, right? Especially as many conventions as probably you and I have been to combined. We're used to that, right? We're used to that warm fuzzy. You see somebody, maybe your friends from across the country. Still got to happen in the eXp world. You want to talk a little bit about maybe that experience since that just took place?
Yeah. So I think change the way you look at things and the things you look at change, right?
My favorite blah.
So it's just a different experience that when you get used to what it is that you're doing, and you can realize that it's extremely valuable, and that you can get, again, connection and human connection and the ability to still be with those of us across the country, right? We may not physically be there yet. There's nothing else that's giving other people a way to virtually connect in a platform like this today.
Right. And different than Zoom, because right,
Yeah.
all of a sudden everybody is like talking about Zoom like it's a brand new technology. It's not. It's been, in fact, I just saw an infographic that they had 10 million active users even just a short three years ago.
Yeah, I've been using Zoom I've been in virtual work since like 2005. So I think I probably used Zoom the first year it ever came out. So it wasn't new for me yet. It's a new way for sure in real estate. What's fun about being inside the world instead of on Zoom is you don't actually have to stare at yourself. I don't know about anyone else, but it's a lot of hours a day of just, right, looking at the screen and being able to get a little bit of a different experience is fun. It's making real estate fun again, right?
That's been the saying. I've heard that one before, right? Well, so if you're not, have you not maybe come from, as tech forward as you have been all these years, For any other agents who are, maybe they're looking at eXp, maybe they attended the shareholders conference virtually, or watched it live stream. Words of advice. I mean, so for somebody watching this right now who is learning about you, learning about eXp, maybe talking to you, to your group, or to another eXp agent, what words of advice do you give somebody?
So the words of advice I would give to somebody would be, start small, right? I think sometimes we get so stopped in thinking that it's such a big deal to do something new or create a new opportunity or make a change, right? Most of us aren't comfortable with change. And what I would really ask that each and every one of you who may be watching this do would be, look at what it is you really want to create for yourself. Right? That was my journey. It stopped being about what brokerage do I want to partner with and what value proposition is this brokerage going to give me? Because at the end of the day, we all love our brokerages, and the value proposition directly correlates to what it is that we want our businesses to look like, number one, and what it is that we show up to as well. Right? So a lot of it really, in most places, whether it's our business, leadership, relationships, it all starts with us. So kind of do a little diagnostic of you and what do you want your business to look like and who do you want to surround yourself and what tools and resources do you need to be able to get that, and then figure out who you think is going to be the platform and access to that, and take that leap of faith. Find the thing that makes you the most uncomfortable and then go do that. We so often pick the thing that just feels comfortable because we don't want to take, again, that big jump or the thing that's unfamiliar. The unfamiliarity is what's going to get us the best growth and access to the things that we really want if you have big goals. So I've spent a lot of those days recently where things didn't always feel so great. And yet I was doing it because I knew that they're the things that are going to get me what I want and who I want to be and what I want to create and help others. And so for anyone just like looking at it, I encourage you to, don't make it a comparison of one thing to another from a value proposition, but make it about what aligns to you. And then it makes it easy to pick the right partner because there's nowhere else to be but eXp, right?
I love it. Well, you've done, I mean, obviously you throughout all these years as a leader, leading organizations too. I mean, you've been a giver, you've been, an educator, you're coaching, platform. I mean, you're always giving back. And I think that's another reason why you talked about earlier is it's the partnership to be able to align, to give with yes, there are some economic,
giving incentives
and wanting to introduce a great opportunity, but again, for people like yourself that are natural givers anyway, I mean, I hate using the same reference over and over again, but whatever it is that you like, whether it's Starbucks coffee or anything, right? We promote it, but they don't give us anything in return for it. This is, what really the only platform that allows in a model like this anywhere across the globe that I'm aware of, that be able to provide a true first time ever, true 50-50 partnership in their real estate brokerage. I don't know of another one that's like that. And if it's a boutique, so be it, but nothing on this grand scale and continue to grow globally as well.
Yeah. If anyone wants to save the time and effort and energy, I've researched probably almost every brokerage that's out there and visited and experienced and had the honor to be in rooms that, some of us wouldn't even imagine having the opportunity to be in, to just see what the inside out of different brokerage is. And so picking eXp as the partner was not something that I did without a ton of thought and energy and looking at the different options and what was out there. So you can borrow the belief in me that I've researched it. And if you're the type of person who really wants to grow your business and connect to the people that are going to give you the access to doing it, you're in the right place. And if you're not here yet, come on over.
Well, we tell people all the time too, is that, we don't want people here that don't want to be here or aren't ready to be here either. I remember the due diligence you put forth. I remember many of our calls. There was many of a long hour-long plus calls dating back to, I think even before, maybe early last summer. That's a lot of exploration, and I think that's the right thing to do. It's oftentimes we hear about other agents who are so excited about eXp, right? Which rightfully so, but then they find it very hard that their friends, why aren't they coming over? It's all about timing too. When it's the right time for you to be here, when it's the right time for others. We all have the same regret that we all wish we would have done it sooner. however, again, if it wasn't the right time, it wasn't the right time. So yeah, good stuff. Jennifer, I guess kind of getting close to wrapping up things here. Kind of what's next, kind of, because you're still getting started.
Yeah.
And I think, again, kind of that partnership. What really cool things have you got in the works? If you can share, what is it that's most exciting to you right now?
Yeah, of course. So I have launched the manifestnetwork.com, so everybody can check me out there. It's kind of my one-stop shop to be able to access my coaching and consulting business, what I'm doing in the virtual real estate pro space now, and also everything accessing what I've started to build inside my eXp growth partnerships. So that is www.themanifestnetwork.com. And right now it's just being able to, help as many people and add value in as many places as possible to continue to grow together. I'm also really excited to be in my partnership with Mary Maloney for the Be Different Mastermind. If you're not in that group as well, you should definitely check it out, bedifferentmastermindgroup.com, and really doing lady leaders and helping focus on, female empowerment and leadership in the industry. And again, just being able to impact as many people on getting the access to what they want as possible.
I love that. Yeah, definitely like it, and that the focus on the lady leaders as well. You're actually the very first woman representative on this show. So.
Oh wow, represent! Thank you. I'm honored.
I was looking at the past couple previous shows. A lot of gentlemen in the show so far. So I want to make sure that we get the word out and get more of our eXp Power Girls up here as well.
Yes, represent. Thank you. I so appreciate that.
Really cool stuff. Well, Jen, we're definitely looking forward to continued growth, working alongside you, partnering with you. Looking forward to doing some more of these sessions with you too. Some lives, introducing some of your new future partners I know that are in the works. Very exciting. So any parting words you want to share?
Parting words, I would just say, just do it. I think the thing that gets us between what we want and what we don't get is not taking action. So whether it's looking at eXp or whether it's the personal goal or the productivity goal, whatever it is, just take the action you're not taking today and let the results happen. That's always the best word of advice I can give people.
Taking action is always great words of advice, right? It's you don't know if you don't try it. And
just take the step. You'll win or learn. You won't lose.
We say take massive action, but even small steps are still going to get you there.
Yeah.
So, well, awesome. Jen, this has been awesome for you to open up and share a little bit about your story and a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming here next. So I appreciate you taking the time and joining us.
Thank you so much, and I'll see everyone again soon.
It's been awesome. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Have a great one.
And that is a wrap on another episode of HiiVE Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and give this episode a thumbs up if you like what you heard, and remember to subscribe for future episodes. You can also catch some highlights and other eXp news and industry buzz on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts.